Alright, so it is October 27th, and recently over the weekend, a friend made a comment of being like, I don't understand how, if you're not diagnosed yet, how can you be chronically ill? And I've noticed that that's like a common perception with people in my life, that they don't really grasp the idea that unless you don't have a diagnosis, then technically you don't have these range of symptoms. Um, but chronically ill, thanks to the U.S. United States National Library of Medicine. Um, unquote, like legit, a chronic condition or illness is a human health condition or disease that is persistent or otherwise long-term lasting in its effects, or a disease that comes with time. So, a chronic illness is a condition, also, WebMD, Mayo Clinic, says a chronic illness is a condition that lasts for a very long time and usually cannot be cured. So, the fact that I've been going on 2 years and still have these illnesses, symptoms, the trembling, loss/numbness in my right foot, vertigo, feeling faint, cognitive slowness, poor short-term memory, at times confusing long-term memory, like I can recall a situation and then my friends remind me that's not exactly how it all happened, or I'm missing details, which before, 3 years ago was not a problem. Slur my speech sometimes, I get distracted in conversation very easily, I have, like, old man syndrome, which I've noted as, that I'll have a conversation, stop talking, then my friend will be like, hey, are you gonna finish that sentence? Have no recollection that I was talking, and have no idea what I was talking about, and generally the conversation just stops there. So, but the fact that all this stuff has been going on 2 years. Now, there's situations where I felt like I was going to go blind again, like what I experienced when, in the episode of going blind, what it felt like up and before I was going to go blind and then went blind. So there are times, especially when it's really hot out, I get really not good. So I've been having all this whole chunk load of symptoms for the last 2 years, going on 3 years now, actually. I'm chronically ill. Yes, I do not have a diagnosis yet. And yes, they keep on telling me that, oh, nope, you definitely don't have Parkinson's, but it could be a blood disorder. And then I went to the hematologist, and she was like, oh, you have, like, weird blood, but it's nothing contributing to your current symptoms. So it's just like a weird thing that we found, and you probably had this your whole life and it won't affect you going forward. I'm like, okay. So they still can't rule out certain things. I am getting a second opinion with a MS neurologist in November. And hopefully we'll see what they say. I should have gotten a second opinion 2 years ago, but I was just so fed up with everything else, I decided not to. But yes, you could be chronically ill without a diagnosis. A lot of times, I've met a lot of people that there's symptoms, like there's symptomatic illness, symptom stuff is completely real, and they just don't meet the criteria, or they meet like 3 out of 5 criteria for such and such, and then they meet 2 of 5 on another criteria for like a disease. So doctors are kind of waiting to see what else will pop up more to swing them on whatever side would be more appropriate. So, and I've met a lot of people that are in that situation. So yeah, it kind of irked me, but then I was like, oh, you're just not educated. You don't know. Like, you could be chronically ill and not be diagnosed. Yeah. So, wham bam, there's that. But hopefully soon I can get a diagnosis. I really don't anticipate within this year to get a diagnosis at all. Year 2014. I don't anticipate that by the end of December I'll have a diagnosis. Oh, so I'll be approaching 3 years now being undiagnosed with a chronic illness/illnesses. Probably what's the most... The trembling has gotten pretty more blatant, and lately I've been feeling like I could pass out. So it's been fun. But yeah, we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to clear up that one. Alright, hang in there.